Welcome back to Grump's barn, which should be this being if I get my mouth into gear it will help. This should be the last part of me putting this bloody axle back together and getting it back in. So I came down here to do that, but so far all I've managed to do is put this steady arm back on and connect it back up to the panhard rod at the bottom. And I've also put back the bulkhead and inner wing supports. These connect through to the wing, both sides. These here go onto the footwells. Right, there's a nice steady for the bulkhead onto this chassis. They're only loosely put on there because they're going to need to be adjusted. These things are on slots so you can move them backwards and forwards to accommodate exactly where the body sits. So basically once you've got the back end on, right at the back of the chassis, got that connected up onto the body, then you know where everything else is going to sit, and you can adjust these forwards or backwards to take up the slack. Basically to account for the wonderful panel fit that you find in all Land Rovers. They're not all the same, obviously. Right, now what I need to do is get this slip. Oh no, hang on a minute. Before I lift it, I have got one final thing to do. I just remembered. Pinion oil seal. I have to get that changed first. Right, I'll get that done now. Move this round a little bit so it's up in the air a bit. And then get that changed over. Right, back in a bit. Right, well that's the pinion oil seal changed. And in case you haven't seen my other one, I'm doing this. I didn't actually show it done either because, well, it's a faff. 22mm nut there, undo that. Comes undone nice and easily with a rattle gun. Otherwise you'll have to hold everything steady to undo it. With a rattle gun it just shoots straight off, no problem. Pull this out. Beat the crap out the old seal that's behind here and hook it out. This one was a particular pain in the fucking arse. I had to literally beat the shit out of it to get it out. But you've got to do that carefully so you don't actually damage any of the surroundings inside here where the new one's going to seat. Once you've done that, clean it all out with a cloth or whatever. Get out any bits of crap and things that are in there. And the easiest way to put them back in is a little trick I learned from the trailer fitter. Good old Chris, lovely bloke. You see here, he tells you how to put these in. It's very, very easy because you just put the new seal on there, push it in very slightly, lubricate it a teeny bit, stop it sticking on its way in. Then you push this back on, put your washer inside, and do the nut up slowly. And it will slowly push the whole thing in there nice and straight and even. If it does happen to go a bit wrong, well, I've never known it go wrong, but if it does, then obviously loosen off, sort it out, even it up, and carry on. I just tighten it down like that, and it sets it in there beautifully. And then I tighten it up with a rattle gun initially. You can do that with only just holding your hand on here. You can get it up to quite a tight setting. Then what I did was put in 2 bolts, one here, one here. get a jemmy bar or something similar, put it in there like that to lock it, and with one hand holding that jemmy bar in place, the other one on the torque wrench, click it up to 96 foot-pound or 130 Newton meters for these particular ones. Check what your vehicle is before you do it, because they're not all the same. That's what it is for these, both front and rear. Now I'm going to take these nuts and bolts back out, because there are only temporary ones in there just for doing that, and I shall put in the proper nuts and bolts that will be holding the prop shaft in eventually. I'll chuck them in there now, and then I won't lose them in the process of everything else. Just took me 10 minutes to find out where I put the bag last time I used them. Right, back in a bit. There we go. Down on the floor, wheels back on. All ready to go under here. All I've got to do is raise this up and then fuck about for God knows how long, trying to get that in line under there without knocking it off its jack. This will be fun. Ah dear. But it won't be fun today, because I've been doing other things as well while I was here, piddling about. Well, I shall be doing it tomorrow, but it will be on this video. Blimey. Another waypoint coming up. I want this bloody chassis movable on its own wheels. Right, see you shortly. I should be lifting this bloody thing up and getting this under there. Well, there we go. Finally, we're getting this thing back under. It's not easy. It's taking a hell of a lot of fucking about. I had to use a high lift to lift the bloody thing up. And as that's not the most stable of things, and this floor's not exactly straight either, I've even had to use an axle stand to stop it falling over sideways. Bloody things. Thankfully there's not a lot of weight on there. I'm having to slowly zigzag this thing underneath so I can get it in the right position. And when it's roughly right, I can let it down a bit. We're getting there. Back in a bit. Well, there we go. After much piddling about, it's finally sitting on there. Still got to all be bolted up. Got to put the A-frame back on. I've got to bolt in the rubbers down here. But before I can do that, I'm going to have to get a strap over the back of here onto the axle and wind it down. Pull those springs down enough for me to do it. I've also got to tighten these up, because they're only put in there roughly. I'm going to have to take them out, slap some anti-seize on there, put them back in and bolt them up. But there we go, one axle finally back in. We have a rolling chassis. Even if it doesn't roll that well at the moment, because if I do roll it too much, the back end's going to fall off. Right, let's get to getting this thing tightened down and all fixed together. Now I can finally say goodbye to the woes of the rear axle. Huzzah. Alright, well there we go, that's the shock absorbers back on, but in true style, when you get new shocks, for some reason these ones don't come with a new washer and a new nut for the top of the shocks. So I can't finish fitting those. Now I'm going to have to order those up. See when they bloody arrive. But I've got all these bolts in down here, they're all nice and tight now. Everything's fitted up as it should be there. I've tightened down the end nuts. I haven't tightened them right down, obviously. I've just tightened them down temporarily. They're not fully tightened. They won't be until there's some weight on this thing. Alright, so that's it. Back axle done for now. Oh no, it's not. Oh, for fuck's sake. I need to put the A-frame back on. Right, let's do that then. There we go, that's me finally finished for today. A-frame back on. What a bastard it is to get on. These two bolts at the back here, absolutely no problem at all. This front one here is a complete twat. Even trying to put it on first. Oh, very, very difficult. Nothing wants to stay in the position it's put at. I've had to loosen off the joints under here as well and everything. Oh. And it was still a pain in the arse. But we're done. And just remember, if you are doing one of these two bolts at the back, they're different from the front one, they're shorter. But they both go up. Nut and washer on top. Whereas the back one here has got a smaller head. Longer, goes down. Obviously nut and washer underneath. Bloody hell. So glad to have that done. Just annoying that I can't finish it completely. I'm going to need to get some new washers for the rear shocks here. And some new nuts. I'm not sure what thread they are. I can't be asked to go and get my pitch gauge out. But it's an M12 by the looks of it. Probably by 1.5 or something. Not completely sure, as I say, I'm going to have to check. Find out. And then the M12 nuts I've got don't fit on it. Not properly anyway. Right. Well, thank you for making your way through all this crap again. We now have a rolling chassis. I'm over the bloody moon. Next stage will be getting on with fixing all the other little bits and bobs that need to go back on here. Well, I am going to definitely have to go to one of the old discos I've got outside. It's got 300 TDI in it. I think I'm going to remove the steering box from it. That's going to be a pain in the arse, but needs must. My steering box has been leaking for many, many years. And I just can't be asked to rebuild it. Not at the moment. So I'll try that other one first. If that doesn't work, I might just stick mine back on there for the minute. Put up with a slight leak, which it's had for, as I say, for years and years. Right. Well, thanks for watching. Thank you for those lovely people who subscribed. And I'll see you on the next one. You take care of yourselves. And I'll see you again soon. Bye.